Welcome back to the Rise Personal Training Podcast. Coach Wyatt here with Coach Sam.
Hey, everyone.
And today we're talking about why we repeat workouts.
Yes.
So I'm sure a lot of our members that have been here for a while have now kind of caught on that we have our different phases, we have our different rep ranges. And within each phase, we typically, repeat some workouts. Mm-hmm. We'll have, like, if you're 3 times a week, we'll have our A, B, and C. And then we kind of cycle through those for the next 3 weeks. Okay.
Yes.
The exercise selection is pretty simple, is the same in each of those A, B, or C's. And we just, progress our weights that way.
Right.
So the reasoning behind it, why we do it.
Yeah, why do we do it?
Okay, that's a great question. I'm joking.
Well, because a lot of people are now aware that we're here for 3 weeks. Like, everyone loves when the 6s come, and this whole week I've been, guess what?
It's 12.
We're at the 12s, baby. And everyone's kind of mad about it. But there is a rhyme to our reason,
For sure, yeah. So it's just one of those, first off, every time we're in a new phase, we're going to have some new exercises. Mm-hmm. We're just coming off of 3 weeks of a different phase. And so there is kind of that learning curve again. You got to get used to the new rep ranges we're doing. You got to get used to the new exercise selection we have. And then it lets us, week 1, reassess your form. It lets us kind of check in with you, see if anything's bothering or hurting you. If you do have an injury, we can change something then and there so that the next 2 weeks we're progressing, but we're not going to cause any flare-ups in the knee or something like that.
Right. And especially, it's very relevant because we're in a new phase this week. Mm-hmm. Sometimes if someone hasn't done a workout for a decent while and they're like, I feel like I could go heavier, but the 12 is kind of killing me. I'm like, okay, well, we're here for 3 weeks, so let's just take it a little more chill today. Mm-hmm. Still a challenge, but nothing crazy. And then we'll revisit this next week and see if we can go heavier. Right. But I'd rather you get through all 3 rounds of your 12 reps before we reassess that.
It's kind of like our built-in deload week.
Yeah.
Because we know the 3rd week of a phase is when we push the most. Mm-hmm. And then we go immediately into week 1 of a new phase. So it's like hey, I'm really tired. I'm beat from last week, like you just said. And so it's one of those, let's get reintroduced to this. Okay.
Yeah.
Workout's not going to be crazy tough. You're still going to be sore because it's new reps and new exercises and such. But again, it lets you kind of ease into it. And then that's where week 2 comes in. That's where week 3. So we repeat these workouts because now we've got the form down week 1.
Yep.
Repeating the workout on week 2 allows us to ensure that we are pushing the reps a little more. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Once we go to week 3, we push even more. That's the progressive overload being built in.
We're trying to see what our max could be for that specific rep range.
Correct. And you can't do that in 1 week. If we do 1 week phases, you'd spend too much time trying to learn the movement again. And so it's like half of your effort is going to how does the balance work again?
And honestly, you're probably just going to end up hurting yourself.
100%. Exactly.
Yeah, because then you're going to be like, oh no, I can go my heaviest ever, but I haven't done this workout in 3 months.
Right.
And you'll probably injure yourself. So
we know people love variation, but at the end of the day, if you're not sticking to a routine or a program that has some exercises repeat, you're really just doing a lot of fluff work. It's like
it's not going to be beneficial at the end.
Right.
Of the day.
Yeah. It's like, it's great you're moving and everything, but the body's just not used to it. The body's confused on what's happening. Mm-hmm. I know there's that, the old saying, if you got to trick the muscle, and while there is some truth to that, it's just one of those, no, that doesn't mean come in and on a random day, random time, train some random muscle group you've never done.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, no, there needs to be variety in your programming, but then you still have to repeat something to ensure that you can track and see that you're doing more than last time.
Which is why 3 weeks seems like a long time, but it's really not. You're only doing the same type of workout 3 times and then moving on. Right. And I feel like that's pretty think about it, we do 3 reps a lot of the times of our workouts. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then you also have to, we play with the exercise selections and the rep ranges.
Yeah.
Some exercises are better done at certain rep ranges. Mm-hmm. Okay. We don't want you doing a heavy trap bar deadlift for 12 reps.
Right.
You can still deadlift for 12, but we're not going to go super heavy like we did 6s. So it lets us kind of push a little more onto the strength side at say 6 reps. We can lift more. And then lets us work a little more on just the hypertrophy or the muscle building side at those higher reps, the 12s.
For example, for the 6s, a lot of people were using the safety bar, right? Because we can load that up heavy. We're only doing 6. Now this week we have safety bar again or squats again for 12. So some people are now going back to a goblet squat. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean, oh, you're weaker. It just means that we are doing this for double the amount of reps.
Right.
So we don't want to overload your body too much and, ultimately risk an injury by having you try to do that same weight or a similar weight with that bar when it would be safer and more beneficial for you to do a goblet.
And then sometimes actually that's where we like catch some people lying to us, right?
It happens all the time.
We're constantly pushing you and everything, and you're always saying, "Oh, that's so heavy, I can't do anymore."
Yeah.
And then we cycle from 6 reps to 12 reps, and then you grab a weight and you start doing it for 12. You're like, "Oh, that was so heavy." I'm like, "Yeah, that was the weight you did for 6 reps for 12, aka."
You lied.
You lied.
Also, now I know you don't read your program fully.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't even realize, oh, I didn't know it was 12. I'm like, oh, how'd that feel for 12 reps? Like, say it was 12 since when?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, so you lied because this weight you did last week at 6 and you said it was hard, but you just did it for 12.
Right.
So which is the truth?
At this point, both of us, we don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what's cool about the 6 to 12. I know it's a big jump and it's a little intense, but that's what's really cool to see how much strength you've actually gained because sometimes people only need to drop like 5 pounds. Or they're like, you know what? I feel like I could do, if they were doing 35 pounds of something for 6, they're like, I feel like I could do 30 for 12.
Right.
Like that's only a 5 pound difference. And if you're doubling your reps with that, like that's a pretty great increase. Like,
for sure.
That's a really good job on that, So that's what's cool about it. Even though, yes, we're all tired. Yes, I am also sore. I do it with you.
Yeah, the 12s are brutal.
Yeah, they're brutal. I'm not gonna lie.
The leg
but
curls are. Oof.
yeah, lunges. Yeah, any single leg is.
Listen, we do it. You got to do it. Okay?
Yeah. We're in it with you.
We go
guys.
through the pain together. So yeah, I know. Personal too. It's like it's. Sometimes it gets a little boring when you're like repeating stuff and everything, but at the end of the day, it's so important that you are doing it.
Yeah.
Because again, otherwise you're just not tracking anything, and it's so important in the gym to track everything. It's like the only way you can measure progress is based off of the metrics there,
Right.
And so if you're not repeating workouts, you don't know where you stand. You don't know if your squat at 100 pounds correlates exactly to the lunges you did at 20 pounds in each hand,
Right.
They're kind of different movements training the same muscle. But now if we squat every Monday, we can see I did 100 pounds. I got a little stronger. I could do 105 pounds. I could do 110. So at the end of the day, it ensures we are meeting the most important aspect of lifting weights, which is progressive overload.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool to look at too. Like you have that all-time button on your program that you can click, and it's just interesting to see like, oh, scroll down to when you started.
Right.
Like some people were squatting with 20 pounds and now they're squatting with 120 pounds.
Right.
And it's only been 5 months maybe,
And you see
so
the progression kind of built in.
Yeah. So it's also just like, be proud of yourself. It's something cool to look at, but there's a reason how we got there.
Right.
This is it.
Exactly. So again, just hunker down, do whatever's on the program.
Yes.
Okay. Just know for the next 3 weeks, we got 12s. Okay. It's going to be brutal.
And we're all in it together.
We'll survive together. And then we'll catch you guys next week.
All right. See you guys.
Have a good one.